Welcome to Bogside Chats, where we're talking everything DFK and keeping it casual. My name is Matty Pesk. As always, I am joined by Franz and Guy Kid. Boys, how we doing?
I'm doing great. I was just looking over the agenda. I see that we're slated to talk about Mosh keeping his heroes at level 1 for the next hour. So that's
nice.
Pumped up. Should be fun.
That is not on the agenda. I don't know where you got your notes from.
What's up, Guy?
Well, hey, what's happening, boys? Sorry to SI and Dags. Hate to interrupt this conversation going on in chat.
Yeah, you want us to take this somewhere else? You guys could just have the chat room.
We should just send them the links. Let them just chat. Just talk schedule for an hour over our stream.
Next time that we can't make it, we should have like the two of them host in our place.
Yeah.
Like if none of us are here, instead
Sure.
of canceling, just
I'm in. It's done.
Bogside takeover.
We've had some guest people do the welcome. I'm curious how Dags would do it. You think he could pull it off?
I don't know. I don't know if he's up for it. I'm gonna be honest.
All right, so we got a whole bunch of things to talk about. Led largely in part by Franz. Franz, I'm gonna tell you guys, he in the pre-show notes, he is amped up tonight, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he's got, what's into him, but he is amped up to chat tonight. We are coming hot off the Mythic Squad boar hunt tournament that was last Saturday. It was a ton of fun. Before we get into the details, I want to give a shout out to Sticks Intern, to About Life Podcast, Shane, Skiller, and Be Easy. Those were kind of the four. Those guys were the brain trust that created it.
Clam clap.
It was super fun. It was the game right now is only offering PvE, and they created a avenue for PvP that was just kind of like a fun community way to get all together and play this game that we love. So huge shout out to them. They streamed almost everything. There was and this was being discussed in that private messaging that was happening in our chat. There was three different streams all throughout the day of different people doing their boar hunts. It's on Mythic Squad, it's on ALP, and it's on SI's channel. So through all of it, you can
Jewelers too were doing their own.
And Jewelers did a side stream of their own too. So I think from all the content, I believe every single match was streamed, and the content is out there. So I highly recommend, if you guys are watching this stream and are interested in DFK, to check that out. Even if it's at 2x speed, it was cool to see all the different boar hunts happening and this whole kind of community event happen. It was a lot of fun.
It was funny towards the end, the 6th Apex. You could tell that people had been streaming for 10 hours because SI, I think, went to have dinner, and ALP or Too Honest was playing with his kid and had the mic on. Nobody was actually broadcasting the game.
Yeah, it definitely got.
And that's just general.
It was all good. Yeah, it was fun.
And it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, it was a very good time. I don't want to harp on it. I don't want to talk about it. I was screwed personally. That's all I'm going to say. The RNG came after me specifically, and it was unfair, I will say. I lost in round 4.
I think that's very brave of you to say that.
100%. That's the only reason why I lost. My friends, yours was a similar situation, I believe, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised anyone showed up to watch this week, candidly.
Oh, because of our performances were so bad?
Yeah, we tout ourselves as... What? God, you didn't even play. We tout ourselves as the gameplay podcast here. We're all about the game.
Right.
And we stink. So, we're going to have to figure that out.
Yeah, we're going to have to hit the books and really practice it. Although we did luck out and beat a few of the Mythic Squad boys, which is some sweet justice, I think. But other than that, I kind of disappointed in our performance. I will say one of our ADFK guild members, Sir Worm, who streams after us, he showed up he showed up. He showed up for us and made it all the way to the finals and won, completing that final round and being one of. I had the number down right here. How many people was it?
11.
11 people finished it completely, which I was surprised at that number. I thought that was high.
And also, he got pants yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's all coming up warm.
All coming up warm. But 11 people. Are you guys surprised that 11 people finishing it?
Should have been 12.
Yeah, who do you think should have done it?
Should
He's
have been
talking about
12.
himself.
Yeah.
Myself and I.
Guy, is that surprising? 11 people finished it? I thought it was surprising. I thought they were hard. I mean,
but it shows like people, we have legions of heroes now, and
that's a good point.
A lot of people,
those legions.
If they didn't have a legion, they went and bought a legion right before too. So it's impressive to see what people were able to shell out and do for the tourney. You can tell everyone's just itching for competition in this community.
40-ish. I think it was 36 people were total. SI would have to back me up there. 40-ish people participated. The streams live, I was checking the numbers. Some of them got up to like 30-ish a couple times throughout the hours of content that was there. So like the community not only wants to participate but cares and was viewing it like casually. I think this just shows like how much everyone is itching for like more content and more gameplay and more from DFK. I think everyone loves their heroes and wants to put them on display, and that was shown, all day Saturday.
Yeah, if the team didn't see that and see what happened on Saturday and all the excitement, if they saw that and didn't think, oh my God, we have to rush PvP out, like we need PvP out now, then I don't know what they're doing. Because like that, for me, that was like a big time calling card for PvP.
No question.
You're doing under the poor circumstances of having to make a PvP-ish tournament around PvE. And again, great job of it done, but just get us freaking combat against each other. I know.
I think everyone is just itching for it. So so they had SI on the AMA the Thursday before, and the team seemed excited about it, like that the Mythic Squad was putting this on. So I feel like the team was aware of this. They had to have been. So I really hope they were taking notes and just paying attention to the fact that so many people in the community were like all about it.
Yeah, they were definitely aware of it, right? Bowen was in there chatting. Hubert messaged.
Yeah. Hubert was on Jeweler's chat too, and what else was I gonna say?
Yeah, Sachet was banging around. KP on the team was in the tournament and did quite well.
Yeah, KP made it to the finals. Yeah.
So yeah, they all saw, but like.
Well, and Winston Jazz Hands won. He was one of the 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're definitely aware, and I hope it's getting everybody excited on the team at least, because and they know, like the team knows that the community is like super excited, but I feel like this was such a case study to show it off. But all right, let me look. I'm checking my notes here. Oh yeah, I did want to talk about this right up top. This was very cool. One thing from the tournament was that like everybody had the Vizzies and like the different combinations, and like some of the combinations and all the Vizzies looks like so cool. And I feel like this was the first time we got to see it really live, and they were streaming for like hours, so we were staring at the art the entire time, and it was very cool. I believe friends, you have this one. It's the plague mask with the dark gi, right? Do you have that one?
So I've switched it up. I'm now using the plague mask with the chef.
Right. Oh, that was the one you had. Yeah. The plague mask with the chef is excellent too.
Yeah. No, because we only see our own heroes really. Like,
right.
when you really see other people's heroes, unless it's a Twitter post or something like that. The tournament gave us the chance to kind of watch other people's teams, see the combinations they have set up. It's cool.
It was super cool, and shout out to Second Best Dad. Like the art was on display all day, and it was super fun. I love seeing everybody's different combinations too. Yeah. All right. So I was gonna head right into sort of stuff we pulled from the tournament. Unless you guys have any other like general thoughts on the big picture of the tournament. All right. One of the first things I noticed, especially at the last round, this was like very obvious, and this is like a gameplay thing. Level 15 priests were almost a requirement for that last round. And in general, I think priests, we've thought, and we've said this in this podcast, like priests are definitely necessary. It's something that's interesting that SI and some of the Mythic Squad guys don't like priests as much, but I've always thought that they're like completely necessary.
I don't know if I'd agree with necessary.
I mean, the round I lost was the no priest round. That's when I lost. So,
I mean, are you saying for that final affix, or are you just talking general boar hunt combat?
I think, well, here's what I'll say. I think
like I wouldn't do the last affix without a priest. Sure.
Right. I think if you were going to say, show me the strongest team, the strongest set of 3, I don't think I would present to you a team without a priest.
I mean, the wording here is messing with me. Like strongest, like you were using the word necessary before, and now you're changing it to like
if they said you have to guarantee you're going to win.
Probably a knight and 2 archers.
You're not going to put a priest in that team
against these boars, like, and that's what I'm getting to. Like, are we talking PvP where I'm not playing against boars that are predictable? I'm playing against someone in Mythic Squad who's predictable. You know, they're going to be going for my DPS hero right away. I'm going to need to heal him up. I think in a PvP setting, we don't know, but I would be hard pressed to not take a priest. Yeah. But you're giving stuff up with that too. I mean, that second archer deals just as much damage as the first one, so now you're dealing double the damage. Like there are a lot of different strategies.
I think for me, I feel like if I get in trouble where like a headbutt and a wild charge hit me back to back, I need a priest there to recover from that. Otherwise, I can't recover from that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I felt watching all day made me just believe in priests even more. I don't know.
Listen, I think priests are great. I know some of the other streamers are anti-priest. To me, warrior is the one, and I don't know if we want to jump right into this, but I think the warrior, like we had Workhorse on over a month ago, and he was saying they were considering a warrior buff. That never played out. I still think the warrior needs a buff. I don't know how many people I don't know how people are running warrior so often. Maybe I'm just not good at it. Maybe if one of the warrior lovers could walk through it.
I think this. I think a warrior with strong strength, like a higher than normal strength score, and the basic attack build. So like the basic attack, the first tier move, and then the rapid onslaught. Having that combo and using that, being in a build where you can use that pretty regularly is strong in a team. However, I understand. Other than that, though, I agree with you. I don't think there's any other reason to do any other builds with a warrior.
And strength affects taunt as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think there's a noticeable difference between my vitality knight builds and my strength warrior builds from the taunt success rate. That I've definitely felt that. And when you do stack strength, the basic attack for warrior is decent. That the entire warrior skill tree is built around the basic attack too. Like
so were you going to continue there?
No, I'm done.
So I think if you're going to use a warrior as a pseudo tank that can deal more damage than a knight, sure. If you have a warrior that's high enough HP, you're putting in that front line, great. If you're putting a warrior in the second line, I just don't know how you can justify not putting an archer there.
As you're saying, if you're looking for a damage dealer exclusively,
yes, there are always.
I like having the warrior in that second slot for the control aspect. It's a more predictable match of having a warrior with taunt than it is an archer with high damage. Harder to time the rampages and the boar's kind of cycle pattern, if you will.
I think hit points, and I think especially if one of the most annoying thing the boars do is rearrange you in your setup, and if the warrior shifts to the front and a knight shifts to the front, the warrior can handle that a little bit better than the archer can.
Yes, and it has its kind of benefits. So a metal green giant said something that I definitely agree with. The level 15 warrior abilities are so disappointing because I feel like out of the 3 of them, right, there's one that's final blow, and the percentages of that hitting, like the accuracy on that is just so low. I think it's like a 45% chance. I'm just never going to use it.
Yeah.
I think most people land on cleave, which allows you to do your basic attack to the front and the midline.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it takes off damage to do it,
Right.
and I just feel like it's taking off a little too much on the damage side for it to feel good.
I agree with that, and I think especially that's see, this is where it's such a difficult dance because cleave move is such a, I feel like, building block for like a bigger thing, but like for a like level like 50, warrior, like where it's like way more moves down the line, and especially with toxic, like if those abilities were active, like a toxic warrior with cleave, we're talking about so many interactions happening that could drop that poison, that toxic has. That cleave is just, it's as it stands right now, is like the finishing move is not going to be that strong, because it's such a building block to other things farther down the road.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the full codexes out yet, but I'm talking in terms of right now. I just don't feel as good when I have a warrior in there. I don't know.
I see what you're saying, especially because I play like comparing it to say Archer, where like Archer, I could see any one of the 3 tracks. I don't love the Shroud, like the channeling track, as much, but you could see different variations of Archer being used. We've seen one small stone being used versus some of the other like combinations, and like I feel like that's fine. Like for Archer, like with Warrior, I do not see how you use anything but the basic attack build. And I think that's a flaw of like there's no choice. There's no fun there. It's just do this or the warrior is useless,
Yeah.
I just want to say chat is pro warrior, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, they like to spawn. I get it. I get it. Especially for this, you need it for the boars,
I don't know. I see my knight as just, he's there just to take damage. So like I see people complain about the knight missing a lot. It doesn't bother me.
It's fine. Yeah.
Like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
More often than not, I'm basic attacking with it. I save the mana for wild charges to use Forever Vigilant and mainly to taunt. It does its when it does hit, it does its like 80-90 damage.
Whatever.
I'm good.
It's fine.
But I mean, so I guess maybe, and this is kind of a bigger topic, right? But for anyone that was watching the tourney closer than I was, Maddie, you made a good point that like, hey, the 2 Archer builds, not the channeling one. But like, did we really see any of the piercing besides one small stone? Some people switch out one small stone as their 3rd move. Did we see any of the first 2 Archer moves for the pierce tree?
I don't think so.
Maybe we're getting to the point where they need to balance, in the sense of not like nerf the Archer,
right?
But balance the moves individually so that there is more of a conflict when you're picking those.
I think it's a good point. Yeah. And I mean, Knight, you can make that same argument. You don't see many different Knight builds. I guess, sometimes the Mighty Blow or whatever, I think it's called Mighty Strike, or I forget.
Mighty Strike, yeah.
It's like the damage or the taunt is that first level one. Like,
but I would say that the Knight build that we see is more kind of a product of the boars themselves and the way that like you need that taunt. And if you get the taunt, then you're not doing the Mighty Strike.
Yeah.
Whereas the Archer, I think it's just like, hey, the first row, the multi-shot build is just better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Well, I've already kind of lost the thread of how I put these topics up there.
Well, so wait, I can segue.
Okay, go. Yeah.
So, I think so we were talking about what the next. Maybe this isn't a great segue. But I'm already.
I was going to do the same thing. Go to the next class. You're going to talk about the next class.
So as far as what we think the next class is, do we have any guesses here?
I mean, in my mind, based on the fact that they were talking about the battle budget in the last AMA, the little thing that Dreamer gave us when he was talking to us, I am very confident. I shouldn't say very confident. I am confident it's Thief at this point.
Same.
I'm not going to
Yeah,
put any money on it, but like I'm leaning hard towards Thief.
Well, so and I wanted to continue that point, so that's why I was like, give me quick guesses, and then Maddie kind of labored on that one for a little while. No, so we're all confident it's Thief. We'll see, right? But I think that what we need, whether it's Thief, Dreamer already said it's not going to be Wizard, but we need DPS more than anything, because right now I think it's the Archer, and to a much lesser extent the Warrior.
Yeah.
As far as just damage dealing goes, the amount of damage you're going to be able to deal, right? So, I mean, your Priest isn't going to give it to you. Yes, there are builds. There's that level 15 skill. The Knight, there is Mighty Blow, but, on the whole, right? So I think the two options right now are either nerf the Archer, which I don't really think they're going to do, and don't think it makes sense, or fill in the gaps between the Warrior and the Archer so that there are more kind of levels and amounts of DPS. Go ahead.
Well, based on that theory, I don't think Thief is the best for that role, to be honest. I mean, I think Berserker would be a better version of that.
Sure.
But I agree with you. And I think I don't even know if Thief should be called DPS, because he's kind of like the critical hit, like one big blow guy, where his like luck hits and he happens to do like a shit ton of damage. Like I don't know.
Comments on Thief not being DPS?
Comments on Thieves being large hits with tiny little daggers. What?
No,
Thieves are going to be agi, poison, stacks. They're going to hit you 1,000,000 times for one. That's going to be the Thief.
Well, and damage per second. We're taking the per second part of that with the speed.
Correct.
Right.
I'd consider it DPS.
They're 100% DPS.
Thief DPS? What do we think?
Yes.
Well, all right, fine. Whatever. We're splitting hairs. I don't care that much.
I said it well. Burst DPS. Sure.
Yeah, like whatever. We're defining it differently. Like whatever. I think what you're talking about, though, I think Berserker fills that role a little bit better. But this is not the end of the world. Again, I'm splitting hairs. I think it's going to be Thief based on the evidence that we have of like what they've talked about in this battle budget thing. I think I'm very confident it's going to be Thief, and hopefully it will fill that role that you're talking about. But I mean, I'd be curious to see it. And I think Thief's going to be a fun one to play with, because I think you can build a Thief in a million different ways.
Yes.
I think most people have probably, most people have probably done Agi, but like a lot of people have probably done Luck. So, and like a high Luck Thief like could just change the game with a wild turn.
I looked at this when I was building my super Agi Thief. The Luck is definitely favored over Agi on the higher
on the Codex. Yeah.
No, not on the Codex. When you look at like the highest level thieves.
Oh, like leveled throughout the world.
Yes,
yeah.
They're all Luck focused.
Oh, interesting.
Mostly.
Well, because they probably are fishers, and that's like what people are shooting for.
I mean, Agi too. I'm fishing.
Yeah, fair.
But no, but just to kind of hammer this point home of like the Archer being kind of standing on its own when it comes to the DPS stuff. Right now, the level 10 floors for the 4 classes: Priest 75 crystal for a level 10 Priest, Knights 88 crystal, Warriors, for all you Warrior lovers out there, it's 65 crystal for a level 10 Warrior. Go DS2 right now if you love him so much.
These are all commons, though.
Why don't you marry him if you love him so much?
And then, great point.
I got him right there. And then the point, Archer 198. So more than double. Math's not great. More than double the floor price for the Archer. So I think the market tells us right there. It fills a need that no other hero fills.
Well, and update to everyone paying attention to the tournament. SI has said they're going to be doing the final round next weekend, and I think one of the things they suggested was no archers, which like the fact is like that's like considered a challenge. You know what I mean? Like
I would not do well.
Yeah, like that. I mean that just shows you how much they are an influence in it, because they're the only ones who can really dish out the damage. Which is why I mean I think I know I think at this point it's out the door. But I think Wizard would have been a much more fun example of a damage dealer and also someone who could do magic, you know, which would add a fun new like kind of wrinkle to it, because at this point we only have the priest who does magic, and even at that he does only limited magic moves. But that was kind of thrown out the window because I don't think they're ready for arcane power to be used. So we'll have to wait on that. But I think, yeah, I think adding another DPS or another whatever, however you want to define it, class is going to be a very interesting dynamic.
Can I give a bonus hot take?
Bonus hot take. All right, here we go. Let's hear it.
Bonus hot take. Not only do I think the thief will be the next class, I think that the next form of weaponry is going to be poison based. Similar. I think it's going to be almost identical to the gore blade, just with poison instead of bleed. Boom.
Right. Is poison on that list? On the
bonus hidden mechanic. Don't.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure. All right.
If it's going to be thief, poison has to be out there. I think they didn't put poison in there because it would have
been obvious.
I think that's the only reason that we have bonus mechanics. Because they were like, fuck, they're going to figure out exactly what it is.
Poison pants coming.
Poison pants. Make sure you're wearing thick underwear.
Holy shit. Poison pants.
Poison pants.
Poison pants. I would love poison pants.
Fire sword of fire. Poison pants. Done.
Poison pants. Oh, imagine wielding the fire sword of fire with poison pants.
It's OP.
It'd be amazing. That's ideal.
Can't have it.
That'd be it'd be OP. They'd have to nerf it. Yeah, very cool. I think thief, like we said, it's going to be thief. I feel like we had more on. Oh, that's what we did have more on. So we got a little info in the last AMA. Last AMA was a lot about like the tournament, and it was fun and stuff like that. But one thing they did say regarding bring your own potion, which our very own Franz has a lot of thoughts on this.
Salty.
When you retry in bring your own potion, your potions are going to reset on the retry.
Yes.
It's interesting. And so you have to create your own potions, bring them with you. And if you use a bunch of them and then you fail, you can retry and it resets.
No losers. We're playing Stardew Valley. Let's just keep retrying.
Okay. Stop. First off, rude. Stardew Valley is super fun for people. There's no need to make it seem like it's bad.
Just saying, it's one of those fluffy games.
Okay, DFK is.
Have you ever played Stardew Valley?
No, never.
Yeah, it's hard. It's not
literally just talking out of my ass here. I was trying to think, what's the other one that everybody plays?
I mean,
where you have like a farm,
Farmville from like Facebook.
Farmville, maybe. Anyway, losing the plot here. I was just getting the rant.
Retries, reset your potions. Yeah.
When did this game become this like fluffy? Everybody wins. Oh, as long as you give us a little more crystal, nothing bad's gonna happen. We need something at stake. We need that competitiveness to come out in everybody. That tournament was great because there was something at stake. I was more stressed doing those boar hunts than I have since the beginning of the boar hunt. Right. The retry is fine. I know I'm not going to win that battle out of the gate, but like now we're giving the potions back. Why? Burn them all.
Burn them all.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I don't feel as strongly. I don't care as much, but I would like there to be some finality, and so because then also too, then you have to make a decision of whether you're going to retry. Because then now you're talking about an economic burden on yourself if you retry and now you're burning double the amount of potions. Like I would like that decision to be tough. When you lose and you're sitting there hovering over the retry button, there's way more at stake than just another go at it. Well,
so and the conversation's kind of popping off. Mel Green Giant and Sticks Intern are kind of having the debate before we do in the chat about the idea of like, if the retry costs more than the value of the potions. And right now it would. Right now it's not economical to retry specifically to use less potions. But like thought process being the price of the potions is going to go up.
Yeah.
I would assume, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to start making price predictions on potions. They're going to go up. Hopefully.
more than 5 crystal and 1,000 gold. Or right? That's the retry. No, it's 500 gold, right?
Sure.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's basically free.
It's free, and they're giving out the free potions. I think, I would like there to be a little more consequences. I think there.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't care as much as you. I don't think it's not the end of the world because you're still at the end of the day. You're still probably burning potions, and that's ideally what I want for the whole game loop. But I understand what you're saying. I don't know why it has to be this weird like tough guy attitude about like we're not like I'm just saying I think there should be consequences to what we do.
Yeah, Melgren Giant making a point here. Did Hubert say something about the main reason for it being just to remove the friction of people having to go through the selection process again? I don't remember him saying that, but I mean that makes sense. I don't know. I don't like retries in general. I understand why they have
current retries.
Yeah, I understand why they have them because there is that 24-hour limit and people would get salty if they play once and then lose. And it's more candidly, it's more crystal going to the team. So I get it. I think eventually, not yet, but eventually we need to get to the point where if you lose, you lose. Or maybe this kind of solves itself once we have like a string of battles, like a dungeon. Because then if you're going to tell me retry, but you have to go back to the beginning, that I'm okay with. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I would like you to have to re-up on your potions to do so, but I'm okay with that.
Well, and I also think in that scenario, usually there's like a reward threshold based on how far you've reached, and so now you have to make a decision of here's the rewards you get. They're not as, they might not be as good as you want, but then there's a cost to restarting and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of fun. And also, too, there's strategy in that of like,
right,
well, I'll use shittier heroes and I don't care, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more to that. And I think, and we talked about that with Workhorse. I said that a million times. I regret saying it so many times, but I do love that kind of, raid kind of style, of gameplay better, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I would also feel better even if it just increased by 1 crystal, if there was an increase every time you retried.
Sure.
I mean, I would say double it. Make it 10 crystal on the second retry, 15 on the third. How bad do you want?
That would be fun. I kind of like that.
You really want that 1,000 XP for these heroes?
I like the idea of starting it at like nothing, like 1 or 2 or 5, and then like 5 gets to 10.
5
10.
is 5 cents, so
That's what I mean, though. Like, if you get to like try 50 or 60, well, I mean, you're never gonna do 50 tries, but you know what I mean. Like, it gets insane later down the road.
Yeah.
All right. We did retries. We did the next class. I do want to mention quickly battle budget. So they sort of confirmed that it's going to be the battle budget system that Workhorse did a blog about a long time ago. Excuse me. Do you guys do we need to I don't know if we want to recap that, but basically there's a battle inventory where you can put X number of a huge amount of potion, not a huge amount, but like more than you could ever use in one battle into your inventory. And then each battle you have a battle budget that you can pull from and go in and use those items. And that's sort of going to be the system that Bring Your Own Potion is, which seems like overly complex for boar hunts, but whatever. I'm glad they're like putting it in action. I want to see it in action. Does this change your thoughts at all on Bring Your Own Potion? I mean, are you changing? I don't think it's going to change strategy at all in general, but I think it is cool that we can reference. I highly recommend everyone read that Workhorse article that he wrote. Again, like he wrote it like last October. It was a while ago. And also Thief Codex has some stuff that like affects the battle budget. I don't know if it's in the first 5 moves. I don't know if he has any, but he has some moves that are like use a potion and get the battle budget cost back for free. Like move. The Thief has moves like that like affect the battle budget. So again, that go back to that theory that we think it's Thief. But I'm excited to see this in action. I think it's just an added kind of like fun wrinkle to the boar hunts. Do you guys have any thoughts on this?
Guy?
I'm excited for it. Should be good.
Thanks, guy.
Like honestly, it's,
Now he's fighting to make a comment here.
I mean, what's there really to say? Maddie went on for about 10 minutes talking.
You did. That was a
the whole
very
story.
long-winded question.
Sorry.
I'm glad he said something.
I can say the same exact thing you just said, Maddie, if you want me to.
There you go. No, you're right. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll go. We're falling off the tracks early here tonight.
Yeah.
So one thing that he mentioned was that it's going to be content dependent as far as what the actual battle budget is. Maddie, please repeat.
AP from the rafters.
Yeah, why don't we start that from the top?
Yeah.
No,
actually, you're right. You're right. This is a good point. Keep going.
Yeah. So that it was going to be content dependent as far as how big the battle budget is. That the battle budget for the boar hunt is going to be smaller than the battle budget for the next void hunt, right? And then down the road, he did mention tournaments, having a inventory for tournaments, dungeons. I'm sure it's going to be. That's where the strategy really comes in, right? Like, listen,
it'll be neat to see the different sizes for the different types of potions. Like, can you bring 20 agi potions versus 3 health potions, or like what are those size differences going to be?
No, I agree, because they said they're using a stone is the term of like the cost.
Yeah.
So each of the potions are going to have a stone weight, and then your inventory will be like X number of stone, and then your budget per battle will be a smaller number of stone. And I guess, yeah, that'll be dictated by like what you're doing, whether it's a PvP battle, a PvE, a boar hunt, what have you.
Yeah. And so like for me, like I'm not the biggest fan of PvE. Like I think it becomes a little redundant, like a little kind of grindy. I'm just clicking the buttons and hoping I win. What I like about the boar hunt is that the puzzle aspect of it, that keeps me engaged. Like if I lose PvE because the enemy is doing more damage than me, I get salty. If I lose PvE because I'm not kind of playing it right and there's a strategy to it, I'm happy. And when you add in the battle budget and multiple fights, a dungeon setting, every decision I make, every potion I'm using matters. And that gets me hyped up.
No, I 100% agree with that. I think, I mean, and this goes back to something I think I've said on this podcast before, but I've said to you guys before, of like, when I play video games, like I'm interested in the strategy aspect of it. I'm interested in making the right decisions. This is why I don't necessarily like Fortnite or Call of Duty, where like it's just who can move the buttons faster. If I lose a Call of Duty, I'm just like, it sucks because I couldn't move my fingers fast enough. But like with most video games that I really enjoy, it's more like that chess aspect of like I want to I want to outsmart my opponent, and that's where I get the satisfaction of like winning the game. And I think the battle budget is only going to like play into that way more. And I think
the battle budget is a great step, and then more classes are a bigger step in the sense of right now there's only so many pieces, which means there's only so many different ways you can solve the puzzle.
Right. And Workhorse talked about this when he came on and talked to us. Like he was saying how he had to like reverse engineer based on what he had. He only had these 3 classes, so he had to create a puzzle that could be solved by these 3 classes.
Right.
But yeah, wait, I want to shout out who's in the chat. Yeah, Dags. That wasn't the wrong one. I'm glad I put that up there, but but yeah, I do not enjoy first-person shooter competitive
actually,
games.
Fortnite is third-person shooter, so
whatever.
Little
God
different there.
I hate you.
Whatever.
By the way, I realized we've been just talking to 3 of us. We haven't had anything on the screen the entire time.
Lots to talk about. You want us to put something up?
No, I guess we're fine. Oh yeah, that's because Guy's not. Guy has no authority.
Guy has been playing. So if anyone's ever wondering why Guy talks less than us, it's because even when he's not on the screen, he's just playing his boar hunts in the background. He's just doing whatever. Yeah. Sometimes
and
playing.
You guys missed
because this is his time. This is his time to play it. Like he's away from his family finally.
You make it sound like he's like trying to get away from them. No, but yeah, I think we're good on battle budget. I
Yeah.
that was the part of the AMA I thought was like the most interesting or got my mind kind of running
Sure.
the most.
And Dags, actually, I believe I'm the only D&D player here.
I play it in
What?
theory.
What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means.
I would love it. I think we've
I
all.
I
played it
told you
online.
I will do an online game with you anytime.
I'm a full-grown adult. I haven't had time. I'm too busy playing crypto video games. You know. Oh, that's another complaint I had. I want the next Void Hunt, and if not the next one, the one after that, to be something a little scarier. Like we got these boars. I have a feeling we're gonna be fighting buns at some point. Can we get like a fucking dragon or an orc or something like that? Like, whoa, what are we doing here?
I mean, it's right on the pixel theme, though.
You can
I
have a
can't
pixel
wait.
dragon.
I can't wait for the bun fight, and they're just innocent, cute bunnies,
And we're
and
just
we have to
slaughtering
we just have to slaughter them.
The King Bun is like, no, my people. We're just taking the axe at Dread Knight.
Yeah, that's what I want.
No, that wasn't a real point. I just wanted to say it quick. We can move on.
No, I mean, hey, we always thought it was going to be PvP before PvE, but yeah, I would love a dragon or like some
Witch or a
scary
black
looking
mage,
monster.
Omega, yeah.
Although, yeah, was that the last AMA? There were strong hints that that was mean. The strong hints that buns were going to be the next enemies.
Guy, what's going on?
Did you?
Oh, we're forfeiting.
Are you quitting? Oh my
did you see
god!
what just happened?
And now
two
he's
priests?
right enjoying the
Was that two
tournament.
priests in that build?
He's
Yeah,
doing his double
it's my
bubble.
double bubble.
strategy.
Oh, double bubble strategy. Yeah.
He's trying to make it a thing.
But they all had full health, and everyone
we
got
tried.
And then suddenly they didn't. So there's some stuff happened in between there, but I got one quick one.
Okay, yeah, go.
I think it was on KP's stream.
Sure.
It might have been the AMA though. He
Okay.
was saying that somebody was saying that they're gonna have another seasonal headpiece, not Vizzy. The actual like the cooler head, the jack-o'-lantern head, whatever you call it. I'm gonna call my shot. It's gonna be a football helmet for the Super Bowl.
Oh, for the Super Bowl.
Because there's no other season right now. Like, what are they gonna do? Another
Valentine's Day
winter-themed one?
Valentine's Day.
I guess it could be like a Cupid type thing.
Cupid arrow.
I don't know. I have a feeling we're going Super Bowl with this one.
Yeah.
Bunny ears. I
Bunny
feel like
ears
we'd
makes
have to wait
sense.
till like
give me like
April
a
for
ref
that.
outfit. Would you want a ref or do you want a super?
No. What? No one. All right, everyone. I need to preface this by saying, Guy Kid for years was a ref in multiple leagues for I think just soccer, right? Or
pretty much.
Yeah, maybe other sports, and he was great at it and loved it. But like the idea that anyone likes the refs is such a weird concept to bring up.
He just wants a fair called game. That's
Exactly,
all. I mean,
right?
both teams have fun.
Yeah.
Go home happy.
No one wants a ref outfit. Are you kidding
Mega
me?
saying bunny ears? I think for like I could see that. I think we need one in between that to get us to Easter. But I do think that would be cool, and I hope they do that.
No, I really like the football helmet, and also I really like the idea, like even just make it like a week, and it's it's the same thing. What was I think it was 50% drop rate on
I think
some of those.
if they do it, was it 50? I think it was 50. I would lower it a little bit personally, but whatever. I think if they drop it tomorrow and have it run for 2 weeks through the Super Bowl, it'd be great.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yes, we have joked that Guy Kid came out of the womb with like a suit and a briefcase. He's always been official.
Very official. This guy's gonna.
Yeah, I like that take. It's gonna be a helmet. All right.
Nuzzle cleanses.
Say it again.
Nuzzle cleanses.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it does.
Really?
That's news to me.
I think I noticed that a while back.
I'm
It just
done with
doesn't.
this game.
I don't.
Dude.
You want me to take it off the screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
You need your privacy. What was I gonna say? Oh, I think I noticed that a while ago, or somebody said a while ago, but like I don't use the bleed trees, so I never really noticed. Like, if you're not making them bleed,
Right.
ooh, Taylor Swift is he? I'd be in.
Sure.
Big Swifty.
There's no way they're getting those rights.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Get
it's too
sued
expensive.
very quickly.
I wanted to touch on this, and we sort of talked about it. We talked about it with the level 10 floors, but they did say that Void Hunt level 2 is going to be a challenge rating 12. Is that changing your thoughts at all? Are you
mean level 12?
Yeah, like the level 12
Sure,
challenge rating.
Just clarifying for the chat.
But like, is that changing your thoughts at all on leveling, on finding heroes in the market? Do you care about that, or you just kind of roll with it? Well, I'll let you guys answer.
I've got like my top team that'll be able to do 12s, and then after that, I'll figure out what we're looking like.
Right, like you're not gonna change your strategy.
Yeah. I need to look a little deeper at my. I've got everyone stopping at level 10, so I need to look a little deeper to see if.
Well, oh shit, man!
Probably
we
a
should
chunk of
talk
people
about
that are maxed at 10 that would level to 11. That I get a next wave of capping
11. Mokushas have like blown the fuck up in price.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I've been holding on to mine. I don't have many, but like I don't know what the move is. Like leveling is getting insanely pricey.
Yeah.
Wait, France, say what you got. I was talking.
I said it twice. I'm not doing it a third time.
What'd you say?
I said I've started selling them.
Interesting.
But like one comes in, I'll sell one. It's nothing crazy.
Are you leveling people up, or are you holding on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not leveling up every hero I have. If they have something special about them, I might. But like most of the mokshas that I get are for my legendary, my like top, and not just any, like my top heroes, my guys that like I would not want to stop them from leveling.
I mean, after watching this tournament, I had stopped on all my like basic, like but I might be now doing my priests, at least my priests up to level 15 because.
But to me, it has to come down to the stats, right? Because if you're just gonna level any priests, I
have. All right, let me rephrase. I have 3 to 4, like 1 or 2 rares, two legendaries, and then 1 legendary with like that's the highest priest in the game. Those guys, I think I'm going to level up to level 15. But like uncommons and certainly commons, I'm not considering at all. Like 5 heroes, I think I was holding on. I might be changing my strategy and leveling them up.
I didn't listen to any of that.
Because I think level 15 priest was so impressive. Level 15 priest was so impressive in the tournament that I think I want to see that.
Well, no. So my point that I was going to make there, don't just level up any hero. Go to ADFK, use that cat and whisker, whatever they call it, fox and whisker chart, and see if it's a hero worth leveling up. Don't just go, oh, it has 8, 10 more levels to make it up. Hopefully it will. Maximize your chances at that. If you have 2 where the whiz is, I would say, anywhere below halfway down that box, if there's no special reason why you're keeping it, if it has second life, you're going to keep it, right?
Sure.
Otherwise, take it with another one and a lesser wisdom stone, put it in the pit, and use the mokshas on that hero.
I agree. I'm
yelling. They got me hyped up about Taylor.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that because I certainly have. I will say I've stopped using crystals on, like, if a hero is anything but awesome, I stop using crystals on level ups because I don't care. I'm probably going to end up dark summoning them when they're like level 10 or 15. You know what I mean? Like levels 2 through 9, I don't care anymore unless you're a superstar. Which, again, this goes back to a subject we said we were not going to talk about. But this goes back to the Mosh point of, like, he's waiting to level up. And I'm
not
like,
having this conversation.
I don't want to have that conversation. I'm just saying, I think I understand. This is why I've pulled back on this so much. Is like, I understand now it's really not worth the resources. It's really not worth the resources, for any hero that's not, like, the absolute top. You know what I mean? I don't. I get maybe waiting on that.
I just said I don't disagree, but I don't agree.
I don't know. I don't know how to. What? Come on.
I mean, hasn't there been a bunch of stuff pushed out there about like increasing your profession score and increasing your level and increases your drop rate, which makes your hero more valuable at the end of the day?
Right. I'm still leveling him up. I'm just not like spending
No,
crystals or caring about him.
And agreed. Like I'm eventually gonna level up all my heroes. Like that's the goal. The team has made comments that Mokshas are they're gonna be looking for more ways to push out Mokshas and to kind of level that off a little bit. So while the price is crazy high, I'm not gonna level up everyone. But like I think there's gonna be a time where it makes sense to level everyone, like where we're not even kind of questioning it, right? Because Mokshas are the same as Spas runes. That's why I'm kind of looking to get some value out of it now.
And selling.
Right. Selling, again, I'm not trying to say like I'm selling a ton. Like I'm selling one here and there if I don't have another level up for a while that I really care about.
Yeah. All right. Let me go back and check my notes. Check Franz's notes.
I got one that the DFK founder thing.
Ooh, yeah, that's fun. Let's talk about that.
Okay. So I was listening to, or I was watching Office Hours a few weeks ago, and he brought up DFKFoundry.com, which was a site that I knew about back in the day, forgot existed completely. And so I started kind of messing around with it again, or looking at it again, I guess I should say. And I found this Void Hunts wins losses chart to be very interesting.
It's super cool.
The blue here is wins per given date, and the reds is losses. And as you see, the reds a lot higher at first. The reds were higher, the losses were more than the wins until December 17th. That's when things crossed over. That's when the community kind of figured it out.
Month and a half ago.
A month and a half ago, and also call it a month. Call it
3 months. October
12th to December 17th. That's 2 months and 5 days.
October, November, December. It's 3 months.
October 12th to November 12th. November 12th to December 12th is 2 months plus 5 days. I can't believe we're having this conversation.
That we don't do math?
I hate this podcast so much right now. Oh God.
So the interesting thing about this chart is it's cumulative though. So I'd be curious to see what it is like at the individual level, because you can see that they're kind of flattening out. Like the win percentage has gone way up in January, which is neat to see. But like how many total matches are being played? And is the win percentage going up because the people that tried boar hunts in October aren't still playing today?
Right.
Or has the learning curve gone up?
I mean, I'm sure it's all of that, right? I don't think any of those things are mutually exclusive, right?
Yeah, agreed. But I think it might be more of just the people that are playing now are the people that are like deep into DFK, that have the heroes, that have the build, et cetera, et cetera.
And if you're not, kind of deep into DFK, if you're not the kind of person to be like, looking at all the podcasts and being a part of the community and stuff, if you're just a fringe player, it probably got a little stale for you, regardless of winning and losing, right? I mean, well, I don't think that's bearish to say. It's just
no. And if you jumped in October, didn't watch any videos, played a couple, got spanked, and then you were like, I'm not going to do this. You know what I mean? Like I could totally imagine
a lot of people that happens to.
Yeah.
But I think the main point that I was gonna make when I brought this up, and it sounds like there's more to meets the eye here, so we could probably have more conversation about this. But in my eyes, in an ideal world, and this wasn't really possible for the team, but I think they might agree that in an ideal world, December 17th would have been the perfect time to release that next boar hunt or that next void hunt. When we get that crossover, when the community has figured things out.
That's every video game, with a live, community. Yeah, they want the challenges to keep going, and once people figure it out, give them a new challenge. That's a goal for everybody.
Right. So, but just I guess kind of looking at it as they couldn't do that for obvious reasons, but are we, over a month behind development where we need to be as far as like the speed in making the next thing. And they do keep talking about how every little bit that they add is going to make implementation faster going forward. You know, I mean,
Right.
we've been hearing that for a long time now. But
well, I think you can
there's
see
truth
it.
to it.
You know, now that like days is a thing. If a hero comes in and is like, "Oh, my move does days," they have it handled. Like they know how to do it. You know, like I think that's clear.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would hope now that like, and we'll see. You know, Void Hunt 2.0. I mean, I think. I know your tweet. We were joking about it in the tweet, but like, I do think we're looking at like the next 2 weeks. I mean, right? You guys agree with that, right?
Do we have the? Can we
Yeah,
pull
what's
up
the latest?
Do you have it, guy, or should I pull it up?
Give me a sec, I'll pull it up.
Okay.
About something else.
I think most things are in testing,
Right.
so I think we're close, right? And KP saying Caracat, and so KP, I saw you had Caracat on today. I started it. I got through like the intros, and
Was that today?
Yeah, it was
when
today.
he posted it, I noted it and I forgot that it was today.
Yeah, so Caracat winning 50 hunts a day. Like, yeah,
Jesus.
there are people that are skewing.
Does he have
this
a
data
regular
little bit.
job?
You're gonna have to listen to KP's pod to find out, but no spoilers. No, but I believe he's having Esper on tomorrow.
Right. I knew he had some awesome
Robio,
guests
who
coming.
he's
Yeah.
been having on is great. So definitely check that stuff out. But yeah, I just thought this was interesting. The token supply stuff is also interesting. But this was kind of the chart that I looked at as okay. You have it up?
I do. So we've got design pretty much ready everywhere. Combat engine looking good.
Oh wow.
Bring your own potion is in progress for combat engine.
Testing with the API.
Yeah. So
That's big.
I think
I definitely I haven't looked at it in a bit, so
there's a lot of green here, which is good.
yeah.
New Void Hunt equipment drops. The front end is being worked on.
The burn
Your own
mechanics
potion.
and testing with the API.
And then, I mean, the testing for the new Void Hunt, like, how long, like, do you think that could be flipped to ready right now if it needed to be?
I don't know.
Testing for the.
I mean, I don't know either, but.
Well, that was actually.
Like, I feel like they've been playing it internally. Like,
I was gonna say,
feel like
speaking
I've
of
heard
testing,
make
it's
comments
Winston and
about it.
Sachet.
Yeah, like I feel
And
like
that goes to
people
my
make comments.
conspiracy theory about Winston F11, but I wasn't going to bring that up.
Yeah, Maddie thought that Winston F11 was someone on the team because there was debug in the top corner.
I mean, we don't know. It still might be.
Still could
Still
be.
might be.
Oh,
Sage Goon.
Wait, did I just take it over? I wasn't trying to.
Oh, you did. So now you need to summon
clearly
it.
had it set up. What are we doing?
Yeah, I have a dread summon. It's very boring because it's a common and an uncommon.
That's not boring. Dread
come out?
boring.
But there is a chance at a Giant Slayer and Toxic, which would be fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But hold on, I seriously was not ready for that.
Do it quick, and then we'll go with a few more things. I want to talk about the Charger Mask research.
Oh shit! I forgot the Charger Mask.
We could talk about the Priest and the past turn mechanic.
Oh, I meant to bring that up when we were talking about Priest.
You have
too,
an
yeah.
actual agenda? You said you had all the notes.
Yeah, I mean, I had notes, but I just got too excited. Have I never used a Chaos Stone on this wallet? I guess not.
You're on Chaos.
Looks like iOS Code and Maddie were doing the same detective work. And both had Zipper about
Yeah, iOS Code. iOS Code. I'll DM you.
keeping it secret.
But yes, there's a logical explanation for basically everything about Winston F11.
Or there's a really convenient answer for Zipper to give.
That he has already been briefed on.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, I will give a shout out because we should say why we're talking about this. Winston F11 was somebody who was one of the 11 who finished the tournament. And we were all very surprised because a lot of people in the community didn't know who he was or who they were. And they stunted on everybody. He finished the final round with a Dread Knight. So a non-Codex hero, he finished the final round, which was the hardest round, without anybody dying, with a Dread Knight. His archer, so he had an archer, priest, Dread Knight. His archer got to 150 hit points, and that was the least any of his heroes got to the entire fight. Like, he stunted on all of us. He knew how to beat these boars probably better than, I mean, there were also some very talented people there too, but like, it was insanely impressive, the run that Winston F11 put in.
You want to know
everyone was like suspicious of who it was.
But he, like the other 10, have one more hill to climb. So let's not
True.
have too much yet. Our boy Sir Worm's taking it home. Just saying.
Oh, Sir Worm's gonna take it home
for sure.
Oh, wow!
It's a warrior.
I cannot believe it.
To be clear, chat, that was a dread summon or a dread attempt.
Oh.
Hey, you got the uncommon.
There you go.
Nice. Let's clap it up for the uncommon. That could have been gray when it came out.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What a fucking brutal run.
We've been getting rugged on
the pit.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well throw it in with the sage, right?
Yeah, I hope for the sage to peek back up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's we've been getting rugged on stream a lot.
What a terrible. Oh, what did I didn't even see. What did the stone hit?
Does it matter?
No. Do you care?
I don't.
I think it hit on straight though.
No, intelligence. 20.
It's normally 20.
Oh no, it's a wizard sub, excuse me. So
yeah,
strength.
So you got that good for you.
It's pretty good.
What's the sub? Oh yeah, that's insane for a wizard sub. Yeah. Ugh.
Brutal.
Imagine a dread with a strength buff. Oh.
Good. Speaking of rugs, right? So I did a few weeks back. I did the priest with the sage sub, with a greater whiz stone or a greater insight stone, because I wanted that wisdom. I got a legionnaire, legendary legionnaire with greater whiz. There were some comments made about, and I think we all kind of knew this, but wisdom being magic defense, right?
Right.
Should we be throwing a point or two at wisdom on our knights a little bit more? And I'm using knights because those are the ones that are in the game, but really for any tank, right? The paladin, we're always doing it because wisdom is one of his main stats. But for other tanks, are we not focusing on wisdom enough? Are we going to get destroyed by seers and wizards and summoners and other magical classes?
Will those extra stats make a meaningful difference for knights, knowing that like knights are meant to be the physical damage mitigation?
Right.
Is there enough in the codex? Is there enough of just throwing that extra stat toward wisdom that would make a meaningful difference? Or do you know that magic dealers are the counterparty to knights?
So you just screwed if you have a knight frontline and you see that they have.
I see. Here's the thing.
Paladin, wizard.
I think this question, I don't know, can be answered sort of right now, kind of in the ether. I think this is going to be determined on the meta. Are the damage dealers going to be dealing magic damage? Do we know that or not? I mean, we like ninjas, shapeshifters, bards, all these advanced classes that are kind of in between. We don't know what kind of damage they're going to be dealing, so we don't really know what the meta is. If ninjas can do magic damage, I think bards probably will have access to magic damage.
Bards should.
It's up in the air in terms of like what kind of defense do you need? Do you need physical defense or do you need magical defense? And even then, I feel like I don't know. Is creating a hybrid class even going to be a hybrid of one of those? You know what I mean? Like pushing one or the other. Is that going to make that individual class strong enough? If you push one or the other, I don't know.
Yeah, go.
No, I'm just saying it's going to be very dependent on the meta, the week to week, the month to month kind of meta.
I guess I was just thinking in terms of like, And I think I agree with everything you just said. I think I agree with Guy when he was saying like, is throwing an extra point or two going to really make a difference? I guess I was just thinking in terms of like, if I go into PvP and I have a knight front line, and I think that they're going to make it so that you can use any like, Dags is saying use a pally, and like, yeah, I think that's, when fighting Magic PvE, definitely. But like, I think Pally's going to be the best tank in the game, but I think
Right.
will still be a purpose for knights. Like if I get up against, on the other side, a Dark Knight front row, Summoner mid and Wizard back row, am I just like, oh, my tank is fucked? Like I think the extra few points of Wiz might make a difference, because I don't think they're gonna make it so that. I'd like to ask a clarifying question: if Wiz or Wiz.S, the
Right.
kind of adjusted score is what it kind of goes off of.
What is where are shapeshifters on
No
wisdom?
magic.
No wisdom like at all, right?
Or intelligence.
Like 20, it's like 20%. Like it's the terrible, like with everybody else.
Yeah. It's like 20 and 30, I think.
Yeah. No, that's
I have it.
Bards are a little bit better, right? Bards are a little bit better. Curious if bards could be magic defense units.
I see bards as having like a healing aspect.
No, I agree with that.
Okay,
yes.
so actually the wisdom 45, not terrible.
That's for
intelligence is 35.
Shapeshifter.
That's for shifter.
Shapeshifter, yeah.
Shifter might be. I mean, shifter I think already might be a sneaky tank light class.
Like a Dark Knight type equivalent.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Like a Dark Knight tanking, same kind of thing.
Yeah, like there's one track on the there's one version of it that's
where Dark Knights will be more of like a shield tank or vitality tank.
I see, as far as like sneaky ones, like I think Dark Knight, yeah, like I don't know if that's sneaky. Like I think that one could definitely be frontline, but I think Shapeshifter and Monk are the two sneaky ones.
The only reason I wouldn't put Dark Knight in the front is that his wisdom is terrible. Especially versus a paladin when you compare those two. Like
he is more DPS, but like he's pretty like girthy too.
No, he can handle it.
High
yeah,
bid,
he's got high. Yeah,
but I think
high
the
endurance.
pirate could be good frontline.
Yeah,
one could be good frontline. Again, maybe not.
The pirate. I mean, that's the beauty of the pirate. Pirate literally could be anything. Like he could be a support. He could be a back row support guy. He could be a front, like handle it if you get his stats the right way. Like the pirate is a wild class.
And I think it goes back to what we were saying before about the thief and how it's interesting that you can go agi thief, you can go dex thief, you can go luck thief. I think the pirate is similar there, where like you can go strength pirate, you can go vit pirate, you can go dex pirate. Like I think I've done mostly dex pirates. I'm switching to the vit thing a little bit more. Yeah. Like endurance is high for them, so like it has the stats to be tanky if you build it that way. I think pirate's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. Just hearing us talk through all of this, like when we do get to the PvP phase, and I know we're far out, I would love. This is a boring Gen 1 10 out of 10 summon.
I saw the summon thing.
I was gonna summon it, and see if I hit anything, I was gonna have you cut over.
But
right. I would love for us to bring 6 heroes to a match, and then
love that
one at a time. You pick one, I pick one. I exclude one of yours, you exclude one of mine.
Oh, okay.
And we can see that whole build happen of, is he gonna go with the pally tank out of the gate, and then I'm gonna then counter with my physical damage DPS off of that, and having that whole hero selection be part of the match as well.
So I like, first off, just before you went into the second part, I love the idea of taking in 6 and then picking 3 from it. Because I think like it just, you get to see who's on the other side before you make your selections. The draft idea, I didn't see that coming as far as you saying that. I like that. I think that you have to have the ability or the time to put on equipment afterward. Almost.
And I'd be curious of
maybe not actually.
These skills are also going to be locked to the heroes too, right? Like so,
yeah, like it might
will happen before that as well. So you're going to be able to know whether this is a tank pally or it's a DPS pally as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. But so just taking it on like the base level, right? Before we get very intricate with it, just the idea of having 6 and having to pick 3 once you see your opponent's 6, I really like. I really like that because you're gonna look at them and you're gonna be like, all right, he's gonna pick this guy. You know, like this Dark Knight is sick. He's gonna pick it. You know, maybe gauge around that. You don't really know what else he's gonna pick. Maybe you throw a curveball at your opponent. Like if I'm playing, you know, Dags in PvP and we've played a million times, like I'm gonna know his heroes already. But I think having like a hint at it with a random person is helpful. A hint at what they might be picking. Yeah, that was good, Maddie. You missed that. But Guy was saying for PvP, he wants it to be that you bring 6 heroes and then you pick 3 from that.
Yeah, I think that'd be super fun. I feel like that's a game mode like way down the line, but also I do kind of like that.
Let's see Guy get a mythic.
But also, well, how many?
I'm just going for a Dark Knight.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
What else did I have? Oh, the Charger Mask thing.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. So you've been doing a full quantitative analysis.
I wouldn't say full. It was data from 2 boar hunts. Archer Paladin.
Got my
Ooh,
Paladin.
that's fun.
Any advanced?
Was going for 2, so. And it looks like the Thief, it just didn't mutate, but it was sitting there. This just reminds me of like, I bought this Archer just before the stream, and it just reminded me of like early day summons where I was just literally going for 1 advanced class, primary class, subclass mutation. Back to our simpler days.
Yeah.
It was also like $100 something back then, but
yep.
Simpler times.
Simpler times.
All right, yeah. So I got a Charger Mask the other day, and I've watched SI use his Charger Mask on his Shapeshifter a lot, and I was like, oh, like it seems to work well for him.
Wait. Can we slow down? Can we slow down even more? What Charger Mask? What does it do?
Fair enough. I'll pull it up on the screen. The Charger Mask gives 10. Hold on.
And the drop rate, what's the drop rate for it? It's the same as like a
It
Gorbo?
increases it, so I'm looking for it, right? But it increases magical and physical damage. It takes away from accuracy.
Fair. That's all I need. Yeah.
But I actually want to
minus accuracy, increased damage.
So increase physical damage by 17%. This isn't the one I did the test with. I have 2. I used the 15% one. 15% reduces accuracy by 10%. Nothing else special about it. No other effects, stuff like that. Just you're trading accuracy for damage. I was and so going back. Hold on.
Seems great to me.
In theory, sure.
Yeah.
I was shocked at how much it lowered the accuracy.
Yeah.
And I mean
10%?
And it's 10%. Maybe this is just another case of Bogside doesn't do math well, and I should have known. But so this is my Super Dex Archer. I think I mentioned him on the pod once or twice.
This is the Archer who has the highest dex in the entire game.
Oh, in the game, the entire game.
Yeah, the entire game.
No.
He's a con.
I'd love to see him.
Legendary, actually. Ninja sub, no big deal.
No, anyway, the Mythic is the second one. He's going to overthrow the throne.
We'll see. We'll see how rarity goes. So the top row here is with the Charger Mask on.
Okay.
Bottom row is without the Charger Mask. So the reason, like I brought up SI and his Shapeshifter, the reason this didn't kind of come out from him is because there's no codex to the Shapeshifter. So it's all basic attacks. You see the basic attack, 1%
barely changes.
Difference. Yeah. Not a big deal. 10 on the multi-shot, or on all of them, there's a 10, again, 10%. I guess it says it right there, right? 10% difference in accuracy. It is like kind of a lot. Like I don't know, for an archer to go from 97% and 94% hit rate to 87, 84, like you feel that in the game.
And your archer is a good archer too. I threw the Charger Mask on a mediocre archer, and he went from like 85 to 75, and that hurts.
Mods, can we boot Skiller, please?
Yeah, we can delete that.
Get him
Don't
out
worry.
of
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it hurts a lot. The increase in damage, it's pretty good. You know, like instead of going from, 81 to 97 on the basic attack, now I'm going 93 to 111. On the multi-shot, 175 to 202, goes to 200 to 231. There's an increase
I mean,
here.
there is a shift on each of them. You know what I mean? Like the range is increased.
Yeah, to me, the Charger Mask, like, not beneficial right now. Like, that 10% decrease in accuracy is a lot. Like, I don't know what situation, and I'm gonna be moving this Charger Mask around to different heroes, but
I think
I
you
feel like
answered it with the very first column. What hero did we talk about earlier that really has one main use case right now?
what, Shapeshifter?
The warriors with their basic attacks.
Oh,
Is the Charger Mask a really good match for the warriors?
good point. If you're doing a
It
basic
depends on the
attack
decks. I feel
warrior,
like they'd have to have some decks.
yeah, it would
'Cause
have to be a high deck.
if you got to below 70% on a basic attack,
Okay,
Jeremy
so
it's frustrating.
Jeremy
you know?
was a step ahead of us. The non-codex thing, I feel like that's not kind of valid because the only reason, like, it doesn't affect basic attacks and non-codex. It's all they could do. So, like, yeah, but what point are we proving there? But he said at the end here, in the warriors, maybe the warrior, maybe that's the next thing I kind of test this on and see how that kind of turns out. But like, so I do want to do this with a bow as well because the language on the decrease in accuracy is different with the weapons than it is with the Charger Mask. It still says 10, but it says it differently, and it's a little confusing. If anyone has a bow they want to lend me for 2 days, figured I'd throw that out there, so I could do this test.
Why didn't you just text me that? I'll give you my bow. I don't care.
You have a bow?
Yeah.
Okay, send me your bow.
I
Cool.
texted you the second I won that bow. I texted you and I said,
sorry,
"Guys, I won a bow."
I'm sorry, I don't remember all your loot drops, Matty. You're right, I should.
I have a bow and a sword, which actually is kind of insane, but considering the number of like things I've done.
Yeah.
But-
No, but I want to test it with that.
Yeah, I'll send you my bow. You don't have a bow?
I got one bow early on. And I sold it for 3,000 crystal.
Yeah, I'll send it. You'll send it back to me, right? Though.
Turned out to be a good move, my friend.
Yeah, I'll send you back 2 bows.
Oh fuck! Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was gonna make a point off of that and I forgot.
Oh, Brovia joining the chat. Love it.
What's up, Brovia? What was I gonna say off of that?
I don't know. There were
wait. Sorry. So you're saying mask with the
bow as well.
The bow equipment is going to change these stats.
No, not both together. All right, let me pull up what I'm talking about. And maybe this is just we've said it countless times. We're not good at math. Maybe this is. So here it says decrease physical and magical accuracy by 10%. If you go to, I'm going to go to Gore Blade because that's what I have. Nope, weapons, or I could just go to buy weapons and go to the bow, whatever. $13.99. So here it says base accuracy 90%.
Yep.
20 decks.
Your base accuracy is 90% when your dex is at 20.
Right.
You know what that means? So if your
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, what guy says what it means.
What say it again?
If your dex is at 20%, the accuracy is 90.
What?
Assuming level 50.
Wait, you're kidding, right? You just said that backwards. Was that a joke?
No, what? Oh, hold on.
You just all right, never mind. You said if your dex is at 20.
Sorry, if your dex is at 20, not 20%. If your dex is at 20, then it's 90% accuracy.
All right, so what if my dex is 21?
You're at 100 plus. Yeah. I don't know if it goes over 100, but
there's a scaling factor. I'm sure. It's not a 1-to-1.
But like if you're at 40 dex, your accuracy is probably 100. But again, this is a very good question. If your dex is way over 20, can it then is there an equation that it messes with the boar mass? I mean, that's a good question.
What's my base accuracy going to be?
That's a very good question.
So this is a good time to shout out ADFK. They were supposed to do it this morning with Dr. Zipper, but they pushed it back to next week.
Yeah,
they're gonna have Dr. Zipper on talking about all this equipment stuff. Maybe I'll be able to understand it more after that. Right now, I'm having some issues.
Well, I will say I think. See, this was for damage, so I don't know if it applies to accuracy, but we never did this on because we interviewed Dreamer like right when this happened, but the team did release a spreadsheet that talks about the weapons that we're using in the boar hunts, and they gave a lot of the equations and sort of the ideas behind how the weapons work for boar hunts. And there is diminished returns on the weapons that we use for the boar hunts, like the basic weapons. But that was for damage. I don't know if that same concept applies for accuracy. Because like for damage, like if you reach a certain dex level, they kind of just call it, and like you've reached the top amount of damage you can do with that weapon and with that basic attack. It doesn't affect your codexes at all. It's just the basic attack. It's just the weapons that you use for the basic weapons. So I don't know if that applies to accuracy. That would be a good question to ask them if that diminished returns formula works the same way. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess my main point that I'm throwing out there, I'm not afraid to say I feel like an idiot, but none of this makes sense to me as far as actually figuring out what weapons are good and what it's actually doing to my stats. So if I'm an avid DFK player and I'm having issues with this, how do we expect a brand new player to come in and understand it?
I mean, I 100% agree, and this is something we talked about with this entire tournament.
Simplify this page is my point.
Right. Well, we talked about this with this whole tournament. Like this is not for casual players. Like you had to get to That's a nervous habit. Thanks for calling that out. But
he's saying he wants to touch your beard, not that you.
Oh, yeah, he's welcome to.
Next DFK meetup.
Yeah,
you can touch it all you want.
Actually, should we say that? We shouldn't say that yet. The Salt Lake City, like that.
Yeah, we're planning to go to Salt Lake City.
All right, we're saying that.
Why would that be a secret?
I guess it's not a secret. Yeah, Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, Bogside Chats is going to be there in some form. Who knows? So yeah, Brovia, come to that, and you can touch the beard. But yeah, I would say I think this is a good AMA question, and your bigger question of like, can we make it easier? I don't know. I don't know if there's an answer for that. I don't know.
I just right now I don't understand what my stats do to affect. Like, I understand the game, right?
This is okay.
You have an archer.
That spreadsheet helps. The spreadsheet helps explain it. And like these numbers right there,
very confusing. But wait, my point, not just about the equipment. I understand that if I have a warrior, I want high strength. If I have an archer, I want high dex, right? I don't understand the defensive rating, like P defense, all these things, like how I want all the answers. I want to know the exact formula for basic attack. I want to know the exact formula for accuracy, for evasion. That's the other thing. I think evasion is definitely not just agi, it's agi.s. Basically, what I'm coming up with in my head is that everything is the .s formula. I don't fully understand that either. I think we need a little bit more clarity on all these formulas and on this game that we're all enjoying. I'm done. That's all. That's all I got.
Or just click buttons and hope for the best.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, I would say clip it, and make it a question. I think that's a fair question. I think they have some of these formulas that they're not sharing just yet because they're still working on them, and I get it. But I think, I think there's a lot of outstanding questions. And I think they'll give it to us. I will say, I'll send you that link to the document. It was actually ADFK Guild had it with when they had Hubert on. This is the first time I realized that he shared this document.
I have it. I was looking through it yesterday. It's a lot of info there. and it's not all totally clear. I
You're
think we
not
need to
smart
make-
enough to figure it out. You're
Yes,
not
that is
smart enough
correct.
to figure it out.
Well, we don't need to say not smart enough. There's an easier, more cushiony way that you could say that. But yeah, that's basically it. I think we need Guy to go through it and tell us what it says.
Yeah.
Or
I would
Dr.
love that.
Zipper.
I told
live
him.
on
I told.
ADFK.
Yes. I said that to Guy several times.
Do we have anything else? Because it is 10:30, and Sir Worm.
Yes,
does have
we're gonna
two
wrap
runs
up.
on, and everybody that's here should go over to
Yes.
to Sir Worm's channel.
throw it
Perfect
in
running
the tourney. Chat while I do the wrap up. This has been an episode of Bogside Chats. My name is Matty Pesk. For Franz and for Guy Kid, we are so glad you guys all joined us tonight, and we will catch you next Tuesday where we'll be continuing to talk about DFK. Thank you guys so much. See you next week.
See you next week.
You extended that a little bit to give me more time. I still don't have it yet, though.
I was trying to give you more time.
Oop, I got it. Love you guys.
All right, good.
Later.